It's super tiny little crystals that have been liquefied to create a protective layer over the finish of your car. So what I had to do with the ceramic wrap sauce in particular was make sure that it didn't make it glossy.
All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Wicked Wraps podcast here. Going to get you up to date on all the things coming in 2024. We're super excited to have some new faces here on our podcast today, along with my business partner, Christopher, as well as Dr. Sauce himself from Auto Sauce. We're super stoked to have Dr. Sauce in the house today. Also, his real name is Jeff, but we like to call him Dr. Sauce here at Wicked Wraps. Makes us feel really good about the products that we're purchasing from Auto Sauce. Other than that, welcome to our podcast. We're going to go over a few things today in regards to our partnership with Auto Sauce and why we're excited to have him on board here with Wicked Wraps. Right now, I wanted to just obviously, introduce you real quick to Christopher, my business partner. If you haven't met him, real quick, Chris, maybe just give us a quick little bit about yourself.
Absolutely. Hey, thank you, Wade. Just working with Wade and seeing this company become what it is today, it's absolutely remarkable. Working with great vendors like Jeff, having the ability to offer everyone what we can and what we do that you deserve, making your cars not only look beautiful, but now we're wrapping boats, we're wrapping everything from jet skis all the way to foil boards. There's nothing that we don't want to say no to. But the great thing is this company that Wade started 19 years ago is just morphed into this incredible organization where we're just expanding our doors into different environments, different opportunities, and we're really having a great time doing it. So we've hired a few guys. We're up to mark on training them, and the product that's coming out of our doors is absolutely truly remarkable. We have people coming in and doing events here at our office, our main headquarters here in Mukilteo. We're looking for different things that are coming out of 2024 with Wade and I in 2024, we're looking to expand our organization, and you've gotten some little tweets about that in our past podcasts. But look for great things to come from our company and what we can do and how we can service your needs here coming in the next year. And you're going to see us grow exponentially. But no, this whole year has just been a great growing year for us, and we're just getting excited day by day.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Chris, for filling us in on some of that information. First and foremost, I want to kind of shed some light on Jeff, aka Dr. Sauce here in the house from Auto Sauce. Jeff, why Auto Sauce? What makes you want to, give us some history on what got you into Auto Sauce?
Well, I guess basically grew up detailing cars. 16, started a company. Just me and my buddy were in high school, just detailing cars around the neighborhood and office buildings and stuff. And even then, I was mixing. I like how this wax works, but it works a little bit better if you mix it with this, or things like that. Glass cleaner was that. Glass cleaner was glass cleaner, but then it was let's water it down a little bit so it's a little bit easier to use, not streaky, that type of stuff.
Nice.
So I was always doing that through the rest of high school, through college, and then I got into like the graphics game a little bit, and I was doing like the Fast and Furious style stickers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Vinyl cut.
I think we both share that path.
Yeah, laid them down wet with like soap and water and cussing yourself out while you're trying to put these stickers down. And I was doing that for a while, and then got back into the detailing game and came up with the name Auto Sauce because people were coming in, and the first question they would ask is, how do I take care of my wrap? Now I just got this wrap done. How do I take care of it? Do I wax it? Do I do this? And back then we didn't even know. We're just like, use alcohol, put water on it. I don't know. And one guy got really he didn't get pissed, but he was just like, damn it. I wax my car every weekend. Now my wife's going to make me do stuff around the house. So can you come up with something? Can you come up with a wax? And so I started with a wax, and it just wasn't working. It was making the matte black shiny, and it, streaking and all sorts of stuff. And I was, so then I dumbed it down a little bit and worked with a local chemist, and we came up with the first which is now called Matt Mango Spray Sauce, which
Nice.
back then it was just Matt Wrap Cleaner.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have any fancy names. The fancy names came in about 2016 or so when I started expanding the products into more. I had 5 products. I had a matte cleaner, a gloss cleaner, and a wash, and that was it. So then I started expanding the names, and I thought, let's play a little bit with sauces and names, and that's where Matt Mango Spray Sauce came in, and Sweet Wrap Spray Sauce, and now I've got sweet and spicy, and secret sauce, and hot sauce wheel cleaner. So it all just kind of evolved from that, with the creative names. But I was always mixing stuff to get a better product, get a better result out of something, and maybe like being a little more efficient in doing so, which was like the main thing. Was like, okay, you can use this spray cleaner, clean the car, and you're done in 10, 15 minutes. Now your car's clean. Versus, a whole detailing package that you'd spend the whole afternoon out there washing your car.
Right. So in 2016, that's kind of really the birth of Auto Sauce, so to speak. When you kind of started coming up with all these catchy and fun names, what was it that made you really start to believe that Auto Sauce was actually a product that the general public needed, and also the wrap industry as well?
Well, first and foremost, I realized the wrap industry needed something because they had nothing. And I even contacted one of the bigger companies and asked them if they had a cleaner for wraps. And they said, well, we have one that's safe on wraps. And I went, well, what does that mean? And, they basically just said, well, you could use it and it shouldn't damage the wrap. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't.
There's some reassurance. Yeah. So then it was okay. Well, let's make something that actually works and go with it that way. And I thought the wrap industry didn't have anything else, so I could be this pioneer. I'd be the first guy, and I think I was probably within the top 3 or 4 guys that came out with a wrap cleaner. So that was cool. And I thought, all right. But then it started growing as far as that went to other products, because people would, well, my other car's not wrapped. And I like this stuff on the wrap. What do I use on my paint? What do I use on my seats? What do I use tires? And so it just kind of snowballed into, I think in 1 year, I added 20 new products.
Jeff, we know your product, we love it, and we recommend it to everybody that comes out of our and into our shop. But with you on here, you able to tell these great folks that are listening to the podcast, give us an idea when they come in. Their main question is we didn't wrap our entire car, or we just had PPF put on it. We've got hard spots on our windows. We've got certain areas and certain other items that we want to do. So you say a jet ski, a boat, a camper. We recommend your products, but can you give an overview as to the benefits that some of these other products use? And I'll give you an example of what I'm speaking about. We do have cars that come in with hard water spots on their windows. After I do a ceramic coating, not only does this incredible product that you created with the ceramic coating make these cars look unbelievable night and day. After we take videos and still shots, it's just truly remarkable to watch when I tackle the car from the very beginning, and then what it looks like at the very end. And halfway through, you can just see the phases of that ceramic coat being applied to the car or truck, and it just looks remarkable. But I use the booster at the very end, and I hit the windows with the booster, which is not necessarily what it's documented for. But I tell you what, anything on those windows, man, it comes off, and it's creating a Rain-X. Sorry for the pun, but you crush Rain-X by 1,000 times. Because this, after if we go out afterwards and we give them a test with the water, and Wade will go throw water on the car. I mean, the water hits the car and it's just dry, and it's just remarkable to watch. Can you give us some other examples as to what these products can be used for with people that do have paint, half wrap, boats, campers, stuff like that, so they get a better idea of how ingenious you are when you've created your products?
Well, yeah, I tried to touch all the bases as far as cleaners for windows, water spots. Yeah, there's a lot of cars that have like a half wrap, and so I tried to make them also specific for the wrap, but safe enough that if you do get it on the paint, it's not going to ruin the paint. It'll enhance the paint. It'll still clean it, still do its job, but it is designed specifically for the wrap. Like you use the booster on the windows. I use it too. Every once in a while, I get a little happy with the booster and it gets on the windows and I just put the window off but yeah, you notice that it's like that, that hydrophobic, the water just kind of runs off the windows and it's great. I've had people with really hard water spots and, I hand the guy the bottle and he's like, what's this crap? And he uses it and he calls me 2 hours later and he says, I've tried every other product and I tried yours and yours is the only one that worked.
I love it, man.
Yeah, it was awesome. It was good to hear that. And then he ordered another 2 more bottles. He's got to do the rest of his house. It was the hard water spots on his house. Sprinklers.
Yeah. Well, it's neat to be able to put people in a different direction. This one guy walks in and says, hey, I've got hard water spots on my Tesla. I called a buddy down in Oregon and he says I need to do an acid wash on my windows to get these streaks off. I was like, well, I tell you what, how about a less expensive, less evasive, more productive product? Look at this booster. This is not designed for this, but the elements that it was designed for creates this, and it's just incredible. So you're changing the environment. How some drugs hurt people if they take it the wrong way, but if they're taking it for this, it benefits them over here as well. That's where a lot of your products are beneficial for. So I love the names. Obviously, you created some great names, and you're making when people come in, it's a fun product for them to enjoy and take care of their car at the same time.
Oh yeah, everybody loves the name and the the wacky names of the products. The marinara detail spray and things like that. It's like people want to taste it, and you have to warn them not to drink it.
Don't make tacos out of it.
Yeah, oh yeah. My buddy. Oh, I tried your hot sauce wheel cleaner on my tacos. They taste like crap. I'm like.
Well, and one thing I could say too about like some of Jeff's products, because I've used them for a few years before we even, really brought them into a retail aspect here at Wicked Wraps. And, like years ago to get water spots off my car, I was like, there's not really a great product. And so I got this idea that like, hey, I'll just run down the grocery store, grab some ceramic glass top cooktop cleaner for like your stove, and I'll use a little scuff pad. And to my like excitement, it actually worked. I was like, oh, sweet, this is kind of cool. And so here I am all these years screwing off with this ceramic cooktop cleaner, wiping white crap all over the windows. And then I buy some of your chili hot spots, chili spot cleaner. And I use that within like 5 minutes, the whole window's clean, no more spots. And I'm like, I should have been using this all those years ago. So it's a great product. Me as an owner and also a installer, a guy who cleans cars, goes out and does the stuff. Like for me, if you have to like go and buff this thing out 10 times, use this product on top of that product in order to get that product to perform the way it needs to, it's probably not really that great of a product. And what I find with a lot of, Dr. Sauce, amazingly, redeveloped chemicals and whatnot, that they actually really work and speak to the name in which they are. And to me, that's huge. And, most importantly, being able to align our brand with a, small company that is American owned, that, is producing, American made products and, just has a really cool concept and vision on the brand is one of those main reasons why I love having it in here, because people come in and they're like, dude, your showroom floor looks awesome. And I'm like, the wall wraps look cool, but it does look awesome to have all of the AutoSauce products on display in our shop. It's just, to me, it is something that every wrap company should have developed and implemented within their shop, and stop trying to think that the only option is a one product solves all things in the wrap industry, because that's not the case in the paint industry, as we all know.
Right.
But that being said, how do you, Jeff, at AutoSauce continue to stay current with trends and techniques that you see evolving in the car detailing industry?
I'm always trying to I guess you could say build a better mousetrap. So I test whenever I see a new product out on the market. I get it and I test it, and I see if I like it. I try to figure out what's going on.
Right.
How can I make my product compete with this product, or this product's absolute garbage? I'm already good.
Right. Which
has happened a handful of times, and the other way it's happened where I'm like, man, that's actually really good stuff. I like it. So I'm always trying to build a better mousetrap, and I'm always going back and revamping the formula a little bit, tweaking it a little bit to make it a little bit better. This last version has been out for about, I would say, going on 3 years now. I really have put it up against a lot of the other products and have found that it's pretty good. It's not streaking. It's not leaving a film residue. It's not it's cleaning it. It's still protecting it. It's still making it shine if I want it to shine. It's still making it not shine if I don't want it to shine. So I'm always mixing stuff up and trying new things out just to stay current with that.
Right.
Nice. That's awesome. That's another reason why we love having the product here. You're always back there thinking outside the box, like, oh, hey, they've just came out with this cool new product. Now I'm going to go buy it and see what this is all about and see if it's something that makes sense or worthwhile for Autosauce to create something like it better. And right. I think that's awesome. So one thing I wanted to, bring to light was we get a lot of requests, as you've seen. We're, doing using your ceramic coatings for, putting on the wraps. We're getting requests for that all the time. I've had a few people ask questions and DMs and stuff on Instagram and whatnot. One of those questions being is, what is ceramic coating and what does it protect? And how often does a client need to use their ceramic sauce booster after having their car coated?
Okay. Well, before that, that's a great question. Before you answer that, we just got a little link to see if we can offer you a new nickname instead of Autosauce or Dr. Sauce. How about Auto Mix-a-Lot? That just came up on the text. I think that'd be kind of cool. But no, that's a great question, Wade. And that's definitely one that
So to go back to that question, I think it's more of a two-part question. What is ceramic coating? Why should someone be interested in doing that on their car? So maybe just tell us a little bit about what that product is, what it does, and then how often, for all the listeners that are listening to our podcast, how often should you be utilizing your ceramic sauce booster to actually ensure that your coating makes it 5 years?
Right. So, we'll do the first thing first. The ceramic coating. What is it? It's super tiny little crystals that have been liquefied to create a protective layer over the finish of your car. So what I had to do with the ceramic wrap sauce in particular was make sure that it didn't make it glossy. You take a lot of the other brands and you put it on there, you put it on a matte black finish. Now you have a gloss black finish, or you have a satin black finish where it still works, it still protects, but now you've taken away the matte or the finish that you actually wanted. Right. So it was working with chemists that could give me the same protection and give me the finish that I was looking for, which wasn't shiny, wasn't glossy, and they kind of looked at me funny at first. They're like, well, wait a second. We're trying to enhance the gloss of the cars. That's why we did this. That's why we came out with, Ceramic Pro and this and that and this. And I said, well, no, but I want the protection end of it, but I don't want the shine end of it. Right. And so it took a few versions back and forth with the guys, and we finally came up with the one that I released going on 4 years, released in 2019. And that's been the product since. Now, to use the booster, everybody's going to be different because it's going to rely on how often you drive the car, what type of elements are there. Somebody out by me might not use a booster. Somebody as frequent as somebody up by you that maybe sees a lot more rain, or maybe their car's always parked outside, or maybe it's always in the garage or whatever. So I try to just say use it once a month.
Okay.
In between washes or after a wash is probably your best bet. It seems to be the safest recommendation, but it really depends on how dirty your car gets, how, where is it when it's not being driven? Is it outside? Is it inside? Is it covered? Is it,
Right.
So it really depends on the situations. A lot of guys in the East Coast, they put their car away for the winter. Well, they're not going to go out there once a week or once a month and do it because they don't look at the car from December to March. So, maybe when you pull the cover off in March, you do it again. But other than that, it really depends. Like my wife's car, we coated it in she was one of the guinea pigs. So we did it in 2019. And when I washed the car, it's always parked in the garage. I don't think it's been parked outside for more than a month worth of time in the 5 years that she's had the car. And I go to wash it and the water still beads off the hood. So I'm like, wow, the coating's actually lasted 5 years instead of 3 or 4,
Right.
Then again, I look at my truck that's driven every day. Sometimes it's outside, sometimes it's in the garage. And that one, I wash it, I don't know, maybe once a month. And that coating lasted probably a little over a year and a half. And that's when I started to notice, like, okay, maybe I should recoat it. And then that's all it is. You just do what I like to call a wrap correction. Which is, I do a wash with like Dawn soap to get all the stuff off, and then just kind of build it back up. I do a wash with Dawn soap, little IPA rub down everything. Then I do a wash with either the matte mango or the sweet wrap, and then it's reapply the ceramic coating.
Now, here's a question for you, and this is something I've had customers ask me. What happens if I have a customer that's just like, he wants to be Dr. Sauce and he thinks he's God's gift to detailing. And he says, hey, Wade, I want to put ceramic sauce booster on my car every week. Is there such a thing as overcoating the car?
No, there's not. Not with the booster. There is an overcoating the car with the ceramic. If you wanted to sit there and ceramic coat his car every week, that's a little extreme. Yeah, if you wanted to use the booster every week, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not going to overcoat it. It's not going to do anything other than make it really slick. Honestly, it's going to keep it dust free and make it really slick more than anybody else. Yeah.
So to dovetail on your last comments, sorry, Wade. To dovetail on your last comments, where you indicated where one vehicle stayed a little more protected than your truck. We do discourage clients the moment that they leave here. Everyone's going to say the same thing. Hey, when's the soonest I can take this through a car wash? Or when's the soonest I can go and run this through and have it washed? We discourage people taking their vehicles through car washes for a numerous amount of reasons. Even if it's a touchless car wash, they still think that's safe. So we give them a lot of different reasons. What I'd love is from someone from your platform on this podcast to just explain why taking your cars through car washes from the pH all the way to the pressure to the products. If you can give kind of an overview there. And then I've got one more question after that about what our analogy is we indicate to clients as we're getting and preparing to do this ceramic coat, and essentially we're putting a coat of glass essentially on your car. You initiated the fact that it's melted down crystals, but can you give us anything else that you would indicate that what we're doing to this ceramic coating on a car, what it's creating as far as a bond?
Well, as far as the bond, it's the super tiny crystals, the silicone dioxide. That bond is basically adding, like you said, a layer of glass to the finish, and that extra layer is adding that extra protection. That's pretty much what it is. And the the silicone dioxide part of it is what makes it the hydrophobic. That makes the water run away from it, which in turn is, adding to that protection. Because you could wax a car, and you put that layer of wax on it, and it's nice, but the water doesn't run away, so you still get that moisture that sits into the finish, where the coating gets that water out of there. It doesn't want to be around it. It basically keeps your car cleaner longer. I've noticed that. I used to wash a car once a week. I coat it. Now it's every 10 days. Maybe it's every 2 weeks now, because the water or the moisture, the dirt, the dust, it all just kind of just runs away from the finish, which is essentially what it is. Now with the car washes, a lot of these, the big soap distributors are putting a lot of degreasers and things like that into those washes, because they're not really, they're kind of generalizing it to a market, like people that want their car clean. Well, they just don't want the dirt on it. And so it's the brushes that are scratching the surface, and then it's the chemicals that are inside the soaps that are a little bit harsher, because they want to get that dirt off. And especially with the touchless ones, it's almost like they amped up the amount of grime fighting dirt, to compensate for the fact that they're not using a brush. But now it's the same thing. It's just as bad, and that's why you see those cars with like the spider web effect on them.
Yeah.
When the sun hits them, it's just those brushes are hard. I haven't personally been through a car wash, standing in the middle of it while the brushes are doing it, but I've been in a car where it's doing that, and that it sounds like it hurts.
Yeah. Okay.
I wouldn't want to be slapped by it,
There's the
Would not feel good.
The dog video where the dogs and the brushes come and get the dog on his back, and he loves it. So, but I do think those brushes, they're not gentle to the paint like a microfiber or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I don't think when that stuff was first invented, I don't think the goal was about what it was going to do to someone's paint, because we all know the second you paid the invoice on that little machine that you just spent $20 on to get all those fancy coatings and stuff on there, that you just took the risk, and all the risk is on you. So if anything happens, well, that's on your insurance. They're not going to cover you because the chemicals fell down in your car. You agreed to their terms and conditions when you spent the $14 or $20 for the wash.
Right. Exactly.
So it's just great too, Dr. Sauce, for us having the ability to allow clients to see what we as a company use on our personal cars, which is everything that you offer. We tell them, this is an investment. You invested in your vehicle, like you invest in your home. Take the time, even if it's a cold day. Don't wash it for another week. Wait, you got a nice warm day, go out and wash your car. It's a great opportunity for you to maintain the integrity of how nice you want that vehicle to look and how long you want that wrap or that paint protection film to last. And so we let them know, and you just spent a lot of money here with us. Invest it into an opportunity to maintain the integrity of what we have to offer. And this is why we have this as a presentation. The moment you walk in our front door, we value what has come out of your brain and created this incredible opportunity for other clients, because every single time they get ready to pay their bill, they say, how can we maintain this? What should we do? And our first recommendation is do what we do. Do what makes our vehicles in the parking lot that allowed you when you drove up to say, yeah, this is a great shop. This is what your vehicle will look like. No matter what we apply to your car, it's going to have something with Auto Sauce in it. And so that just gives us this opportunity. And you're allowing us in a greedy format from Wade and I, you're allowing us to really push our business even broader, because your product is so great and so grand over any other product that we could buy. We want only this product in our house. And it really has allowed us, honestly, to get out of some tight spots where maybe we put down a great wrap and it might have had a different tonality when we put down a different, say, paint protection film over it. All we did was just increase the rest of the car with a ceramic coating. So super simple way to offer a client something that is a gift from us that benefits them, that helps us get out of a tight jam and makes that car look absolutely stunning. And a problem is not even a problem anymore. Now it's a benefit. So for anybody else that runs a business that sees this podcast, that's a perk that I'll give you is don't look at a product for what it just says it is. I get to know someone like you, Jeff, that says, I created this product, and let's find out all the nuances and let's find out the benefits. So let's talk to someone like Wade and I, who've used this product the way we've described to overcome other barriers, other adversities. So again, that's the benefit about having someone with your talent on our team, so to speak, because we refer you and we know that you really enjoy us utilizing your products because we're pushing you in every possible direction.
Awesome. Yeah. I appreciate it. I love that you guys are using it and loving it. And I love hearing stuff like that because I've put so much time into, experimenting and trying to clean stuff and, to see it come to fruition and then to see that people actually like using it, which is, that means the most to me. I love it when I do that. I have a lot of good, what I like is I have a lot of good customer retention because I do get these orders. I get the orders, every day, but it's like, in the little corner when I'm looking at it on my computer, it's like, oh, this is their second order. This is their third order. This is their fourth order. I have a guy that's religiously every first of the month, he orders something, and it's awesome that he's obviously using it and he loves it. So I love hearing that type of feedback, getting that type of feedback from stuff. It means I did my job well. Like,
you did.
I was doing something.
To the opportunity is when you don't have to say how good you are, you can show it. That's the great rate. That's the great rate of what we do as not only business owners, but as humans. To be able to show your effort versus what you say you want to do. When we get one of our vehicles on my wife's personal Tesla that she drives around, we put paint protection film on it and put this beautiful wrap on it, and then I ceramic coated it. I tell you what, I think I did that a month ago. She's been driving around, and I was just telling Wade this morning. I said, "My goodness, that thing looks like it just pulled out of our shop this morning." And it's just, she's driving around with it. I haven't touched it, and it gets parked outside. It gets, and we're in Washington, so we're dealing with some pretty wonky weather.
Yeah.
And then we live up on a hill, so we get lots of wind, and so we get lots of debris floating around. But if you looked at that thing today, so when I bring that and I park it in front of our shop, and a client walks in, and we love to upsell opportunities for them to maintain and to look a little better, whether it's tint on their windows or paint protection film over their vehicle or on their wrap. We say, by the way, we offer this great product. It's called ceramic coat, and we give them the benefits of what it does. And all I have to do is say, hey, take a look at the Tesla. That thing was done a month ago, and I haven't touched it. And
I'm gonna chime in on there, Christopher, and just say that the biggest thing with AutoSauce and how it helps Wicked Wraps, the reason we bring it here, the success in which it adds to Wicked Wraps is tenfold. It's the simple standpoint that I know every time I send out an email and I'm communicating with a customer that there's things they see down in my email signature that's not like any other wrap company that they've been in communication with. They're seeing things that's not just Wicked Wraps. They're seeing all these other brands down there that I'm, proud to have within our company and under our roof, because I know the success of those products on my own cars. Now I know what I need to do is educate the general public that you do need to maintain your wrap, just like you have to maintain your painted car. Most importantly, I want to offer a product that I believe in, that is quality and something that's safe to use and something that's going to get us the results for our customers. And in doing so, AutoSauce makes the perfect sense. It is the right fit for Wicked Wraps. The name just kicks ass. The products look gorgeous. It's such an easy upsell. Every customer comes in here when they're picking up a wrap, a window tint job, a paint protection film, or just a simple little chrome delete. They're asking about these products. People want to know, how do I take care of my car? And it's amazing when you give them just a little bit of education and just say, hey, this is why I don't use an automatic car wash. This is why I don't use touchless car wash. This is why I prefer a brush versus a mitt. This is why we use foam cannons. This is why we use the soap. It doesn't, create as much soapiness like some of these other weird chemical ones out there that we could run down to Walmart and get. But to me, AutoSauce brings a little extra punch to our company. And if there is another wrap company out there or a window tint company that's listening to this podcast or listens to it here in 2024, I would encourage you to listen to this and really understand that this doing and implementing products like this and creating and working with people like Jeff from AutoSauce and aligning that with your wrap company is extremely important because it just gives you another opportunity to upsell, to continue to build that relationship with that customer and produce a product that you actually want to stand behind. And most importantly, I want to support a husband and wife owned and operated business, something where there's heart and passion and a lot of effort put into it, where it's not just some corporate company that created turtle wax and sees that ceramic is now cool and is now going to try and sell me their garbage product that we know is not going to do what the ceramic sauce would do for the AutoSauce line. Other than that, I love having it here. I think Jeff and I have had so many conversations over the years, and I think, it's been in kind of an ongoing thing where I've been telling you for years that there's going to be some things happening here, and I really want to make AutoSauce.
Yep.
And I'm also super stoked and super excited that come 2024, there's going to be a pretty big announcement here at Wicked Wraps, and we're super stoked to bring everybody on board with what we're going to be implementing, and also how AutoSauce is going to be a pretty big part of that operation as well.
That's awesome.
Most importantly, I think that in regards to the podcast, I think we've covered a lot of ground for everybody today. We talked a lot about, ceramic coatings, washing. I think, I'll put, just the last thing out there. Jeff, do you have anything out there that you think the general public needs to know, or anybody in the vehicle wrap industry, paint industry that needs to know about AutoSauce in comparison to some of the stuff that they have options out there for?
Well, yeah, there are a ton of options out there for sure. I have done a lot of, I like to call real world testing on all the products, and I stand behind them 100%. If there's something I don't like, I don't promote it. I don't release it, which is why it did take me a few years before I was finally comfortable with a version of the wrap cleaners that I could be proud of. It was like, I got something that works, and I didn't really push it. But this latest version of all the products, I've now, I stand behind them 100%, and tried to cover all the bases. If whether you need paint correction or just added protection, with the ceramic paint sauce or ceramic wrap sauce. There's a lot of the guys that are stuck in the old ways. You got to use wax, and you can, but you'll get better results out of a coating. And just you can do the simple spray detail sprays. Whether it's paint, I have marinara detail spray. I have a sweet and sour. I have a sweet and spicy. You could basically cover all your paint and your wrap needs with one product, or one brand, I should say, not one product, but with one brand. And coming in 2024, I'm not going to really be doing any new products, just revamping one of my compounds and coming out with another one, and then putting some more kits together, where I'm coming out with like a clay bar kit.
Nice.
So it'll have, and it's just basic, it has your spray, your clay bar, and a towel.
Nice. And is there any future? Is there any future of an AutoSauce monthly, sign up and you just get your monthly products every month? Something maybe in the future,
like a membership thing. Yeah, I can work on something like that as well. I've been getting, like I said, I have the one customer that every month, I know, whether it's the first or the third day of the month, I get an order from him, and he's a guy in Vegas, and I ship it out to him. And he could probably benefit from being on a subscription based product like that, because I'm sending him the same stuff every month.
So
I almost get confused.
So outside Wicked Wraps, is there anybody that's really retailing your product inside the retail space, or is your company currently mostly online based and a lot of your customers are buying through your autosauce.net website? Do you have any other retailers that are actually physically buying your product and retailing it in their store?
I have a few guys that are local to me. One is All City Wraps and one is Wrapworks. They are mostly focused on the wrap line. So they have a decent amount of stock of the ceramic kits and the matte and gloss cleaners. I think it's mostly just for their customers, not so much as selling it online or anything.
Okay.
And then I have distribution through Aerotech and through JDS Sign Supplies.
Nice. Well,
And once again, Aerotech, I think, focuses a little bit on both sides, the wrap and the paint side, where JDS was just more of the wrap care line.
nice. Well, I'm going to probably say that I think we're going to take us out of this podcast here today. I want to thank everybody who has come into the podcast, who's listened to it, who's heard what Dr. Sauce has had to say about AutoSauce products. I also want to remind you that you can go to autosauce.net. If you live out of state, if you're not in California or Washington where you can get to a space to purchase it at a retail location, go to autosauce.net. You can purchase all your wrap safe to use products off there, as well as safe to use paint products among rags, clay bars, foam cannons, all sorts of stuff. Dr. Sauce has you covered in all the sauces that you could possibly ever want or need from inside to outside of your vehicle. Now, if you are here in Washington, you're local, you're close to Mukilteo, we do have a fair amount of Dr. Sauce's safe to use wrap products on hand, but we also can get you any of the stuff too if you want to order it or anything like that. Most importantly, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to Wicked Wraps podcast here for starting out 2024. And again, we're super excited to show everybody all the new things that we're going to continue to keep bringing in 2024. I want to thank my partner, Christopher, for tuning in with us on our podcast today. And thanks again, Dr. Sauce, for all the information and making time available to jump on our podcast and share some of the awesome information about your amazing products. Again, autosauce.net. And thanks for watching the Wicked Wraps podcast.
Absolutely.